It is 3:33 on February 23rd. Interesting numbers. You can see I changed the angle a little bit. I've got the incense going. I've got blessings happening, divine healing happening. I've got love going. I'm just sending it all out there for whomever needs it or wants it. Regardless of what you did a minute ago, you deserve love, you deserve blessings, you deserve healing, especially. It is my intention that the entire world is healed and knows and feels love. Wouldn't that be great? So let's get into our story, shall we? We opened up the reading with the Nest card. I did want to say that the bottom of the deck was the Shade card. That is our overall energy. Something's being shaded. Shaded. Something is being shaded. Concealed. Disguised, perhaps. Kept under cover. You can't see their eyes. It's like they don't want to look you in the eye. Heck, they could have dry eye, or they could be hungover and they're trying to protect their eyes from the sun because it's just too bright. Or maybe when they look at you, they think that you are just too bright and they just need a little barrier there between them and you. I don't know why that would be. Maybe because they need divine healing and love. That's probably why. We all have our journey, folks. Gosh, there's just so many gifts and gadgets that I remotes and everything of that nature. All right, so we're starting with our Nest card. Oh, mind you, I did have the microphone set up. So that's a plus. And that is why we had to change the camera alignment, because of the microphone being in there. It wasn't going the way, you know. One domino, it all goes down. So we're back to our Nest card for the 5th time. We have our empty nest card. It could be someone who is an empty nester. It could be someone who has an empty home, an empty vessel, an empty feeling inside. And someone could just have these wishes. They come across a genie lamp. That's the 2nd card there. Apologies that you can't see it. I'm wondering if I outline all these in black, at least for the meantime. Maybe that would help have them seen better. But of course, some things like the snow globe and the snail, they're not outlined in black, and I don't think I would want them outlined in black. Darn. Well, we'll see what happens. So we've got the Nest card, and then it goes into our genie lamp. You've come across a genie lamp, and you're like, wow, I am so lucky. This is such a neat lamp. And then you're touching the lamp, and you kind of rub it to clean it, and then all of a sudden this genie pops out, and it's like, hey, I am your genie. You have allowed me to come out of this small little lamp, and now I am going to grant you 3 wishes. Isn't that how it works? So someone might have thought that through their void, or in their time of emptiness or being without, they came across this person who all of a sudden they saw them as, oh, this is my genie. This is my ticket. This is my way out, right? But instead of being able to be, to pull those wishes out of that individual, or whatever it is this person had that they thought they would be able to gain from, they found frustration. They were frustrated. They couldn't get into their passwords. They couldn't get into their accounts. They could not get into their electrical devices. So they got frustrated. They didn't have the password to get into this person's will to do whatever it is that they wanted them to do. So they're frustrated. You know, when you don't have your password and you're like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and send you a link to your email. Just wait for that email and then we'll give you instructions on how to reset your password. And you wait and you wait and you wait, and it's like, how come the email never comes? Well, now who do I contact? It might be a really important password. We have sirens going on outside. Someone's getting in trouble for trying to get into somebody's equipment, either a person or electronically. Just saying. Anywho, so now we have the 10 card, and that is the ending of a cycle where you should have learned your lesson and the beginning and start of a new cycle. It could also signify, I would say, probably the new moon, right? Now, whatever happened during that new moon phase, whether they were trying to grant themselves some wishes or they were trying to get into somebody's devices or a person, because people do that. I just learned that the last few years. I was dumbfounded. Anywho, we've got the jacket card there, and that is keeping someone from being able to harm themselves or somebody else. Their hands are tied. They are being restricted. They are bound. They can walk around freely, but they cannot touch anything. You can't touch that genie lamp. You can't touch that device. You can't touch that computer. You can't touch anything. All you can do is be present. Now they're in a pickle. The next card is a pickle. Now they're in the pickle. Their hands are tied. They're in a pickle. All their hopes and dreams, all their wishes that they thought were on the horizon have all been shrunken down. They had a cucumber. They had a much larger thing to work with. But now it's been pickled and it's very little. Now they have very little options. So now they're in the fishing boat. They're trying to fish for a way to get this person to come on over. We've got the Red Rover card. And look at me. I forgot to put the light on again. And it's literally just sitting right there for it to be used. Oopsie. I guess I should stay with what I've been doing. So we've got our Red Rover card. How are we going to get this person to come over to our side? How are we going to get them to work with our team? How are we going to get it? Whatever it is that they possess or have. How are we going to get that? Our team needs it. We want to win the game. So they're fishing for a way to get in there. But mind you, they're still in that pickle. Then on the next row, the second row, I don't know why I'm thinking weeks. I've done this before. It's like the first week, that's what happened. Now the second week, this is what's happening. I don't know if that's what's going on in this story, but it's like, okay, week 2. Maybe it's a second attempt. Now we've got the lady down there on the second row, and she is, she's in the midst of all of this issue and trouble, and she's the person that, has the genie lamp, has the wishes and everything this is all happening to. And somehow she has some kind of connection, whether it's a spirit that started all spirits, the very beginning of time, ancient spirits of ancient spirits. And when we have spirits, they're always there. It's an energy, always there. And the most ancient spirit of all has a liking to this person. Maybe it's her genuine heart. Maybe it's the fact that regardless if she has a home or a nest or whatnot, she still believes, she still has faith, and she still cares about others, and she still shows her light everywhere she goes, regardless of what her circumstances are. Sure, she gets down and sad. We got the next card there where the earth angel is sitting there. She's so sad about it. because all the things that people have done to her in her path, in her life, she gets sad, of course, but she processes through those feelings. Now, this ancient spirit of all ancient spirits, and maybe this ancient spirit was the creator of the earth. You could put it how you'd like. Whatever is working for your story. Now, this spirit happened when all the continents were still all put together, is from what I understand. So in my mind, I'm thinking that must be the creator, the one that created those continents to even stay all together. So this person or this energy or this spirit is connected to this person, who this spirit or all creator is putting this person on the paths of others who this spirit or the creator of all wants to perhaps test that person. I mean, everyone has free will. Let's see what they're going to do. Nothing wrong with that. So once they're on their path and they get to decide, okay, this person, she's really kind of nice. She's really got her head in the clouds, apparently. That's what she looks like. She's kind, she's nice, she's loving, she's giving. She must be naive. She must not be so smart. She must not have a clue to what's going on in the world. So let's go ahead and take advantage of her. So now the people, whoever just try to take advantage of her, maybe they stole her genie lamp. Or tried to steal her genie lamp. Well, when they do her wrong, they end up going down a path of hardship. It's like, you're going to do this to this person who is kind to you. Well, fine, this is what's going to happen to you now. It's karma, right? But if you're super kind to this person, not even super kind, if you're just kind to this person, then your life is going to be one of kindness and blessings. Of course, you'll have your challenges along the way, but you still are going to be blessed overall. Each step of our day or each step of our path, we are being tested by people who, unbeknownst to us, could happen to be earth angels. Whether they know they have that title or not, doesn't matter, because their purpose is still the same. Now, we've got this dodgeball coming in next. And then we have the professional, and then we have the taco. So, whatever had happened on this person's path, whatever happened to them, it caused them to go in a different direction, perhaps, than what they originally were supposed to go into. Maybe this person who was this earth angel on this path had this genie lamp where she was granted wonderful blessings or wishes that someone was trying to take away from her that she didn't even know that she had. So because of the fact that she didn't know she had them, and she was continuing to live life the best way that she could, she dodged a bullet, folks. Not only did she end up learning about the way the world is and the people in it and the different ways that people can be, she dodged a professional taco. What the heck is a taco? How is there a professional taco? Well, a professional taco can be someone who owns a restaurant, right? They could have a taco spot. It could be a female, because a lot of times people will signify a female's area as a taco. This person could be a professional taco as far as maybe she is maybe she sells herself. Maybe she sells her services. Maybe she sells her taco. But she's a professional, folks. She's got that little sticker on her certificate. On the other hand, maybe whoever had these wishes stolen from her, maybe she dodged the ball as far as becoming a professional female of some sort. Maybe corporate America. Maybe she dodged the ball of going into corporate America, where her whole life and destiny would have gone in a different direction. I don't know. The story could go both ways. Now, whatever the professional taco is, or whatever it signifies, was wasted resources. All this person did, whoever they hired to be able to probably steal this genie lamp and try to get into these passwords, or perhaps they just listened to what they had said. Maybe this person was trying to say that this earth angel was a professional taco who sold themselves. Now, granted, people can do what they want to do. That's their business, that's their path, that's their choice. But if you say it to the correct people who can help you get whatever it is that you are aiming for, then of course for them, all alarms are going to go off. And they're going to say, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We've got to stop this nonsense. That's not okay. You know, the finger pointers, the accusers, people of that nature. Now, back to the traffic light. It is also signifying the fact that someone is not getting credit where credit is due. I do have in the community post about who actually invented the traffic light. Following the rules. We've got rules on the road to keep people safe. We've got rules in life to keep people safe. And those need to be respected, right? Now, sometimes people will take those rules and they'll kind of exaggerate those rules in order to fit their story. Well, this is what this rule means, so this is what we have to do. And they take the law into their own hands, and that's not their place. Even people who are in that profession are not allowed to exaggerate the rules. You can't bend the rules. You can't dress up the rules and call any kind of act or situation something it's not, just because you were told that's what it was. Perhaps someone is even doing their own investigative work on the side, using the resources of their profession. This could be a female. I don't know. The story can twist and turn, so you got to put it how it applies. Now we've got wasted resources. These resources are being wasted even more and more. The funding and the financing and the cost of this investigation, hiring the professionals, going down this road, fishing for information, just keeps growing. All in effort to pursue this genie lamp, wherever and whatever that may be. I know someone who can get into the accounts. We just have to pay them such and such, such and such. The more they dig, the more they fish, the more that they waste their resources, the cloudier and more difficult things are to see. You shake up a snow globe, you can't see the scenery anymore, right? You can't see what the heck is in there until everything settles. And once again, just like the password, waiting for that email to come, you have to wait for it to settle. So maybe whomever this is all being taken away from, or whoever's being tested or whatnot, you just got to wait for it to settle. Everything's going to work out. And then you'll be reunited. Now I want to sing that song. I'll do you the favor and not do it. Reunited to the nostalgia of the experience of what they had. See all the flowers around this globe? More flowers. We got more flowers on top of flowers. That's what's on the horizon. We've got the number 5 card. Could have something to do with the 5th house. Could have something. I don't have a house on the table other than packing and moving. So it could be having something to do with the 5th house. It could have something to do with a change in general. It could be a 50-year-old person or someone in their 50s. It could have something to do with the month of May. It could be 5 days from now, 5 hours from now, 5 weeks from now, 5 months from now. Heck, maybe you've been dealing with this for 5 years. Oh, look, the rolling stone, the 0. It looks like a 0, right? So 50. 50! Did you ever see that movie? I want to say it was Along Came Polly, and it's kind of fitting considering it's on top of this little That's the actual energy card. And he's counting and he's counting, and all of a sudden he hits 50. He goes, 50. And she looks up at him like, what was that? Kind of goes with the pickle too, I guess. And he says, I don't even remember what he says, but all of a sudden she just celebrates 50. This is so great. Yay. And she doesn't even know what it is. But if it's a win for him, it's a win for her, and she is happy for that win. Perhaps this earth angel was always like this for others. I wish you could see it. The girl above, she's just floating along their day, and she's just so happy-go-lucky, and she's just like, wow, this is so great, even though she's coming into this sad path. But you know what? She's still going to celebrate someone else's win. You know why? Because not everybody has a full toolbox. You can only base life and deal with life the best way that you were taught. If your toolbox is empty, well, shucks. Even worse, if that toolbox is filled with poop and stink, right? But if we switch that around and we see this big poop on the lawn as being freedom of being able to release something versus the stink that it is and the disrespect that it is on someone's lawn if you just walk away, then you'll find a sense of balance, and then you can move along. And then you can bring your heart back to a childlike state. And then you can go ahead and go on your day and have that be your evidence and the trail that you leave behind. Releasing the garbage. The parts of your life and your body that it's already used it all, and they've just now, time just to let it go. Fill your toolbox with releasing stuff before it gets out of hand. Listen to some music. Maybe you need to listen to some Rolling Stones. Maybe your dad was a Rolling Stone. Maybe you dated a whole bunch of people who were Rolling Stones. Papa was a Rolling Stone. The rest of it, wherever he laid his hat, that's where he called his home. Maybe someone is couch surfing. Well, at least you got a place to sleep. Even if you are on somebody's couch, it's temporary. Don't let your circumstance roll you out of control. At least now, if your situation's out of control, you have a harder path, right? Learn some tools. Fill up your toolbox. Take the next step. Release the past. You've already eaten that. You're not going to eat that again. Unless you're a dog that does that, and then that's just a mineral deficiency, folks. Little side note. Regain your balance. Pull up your bootstraps, right? Heck, go get some chalk and make yourself a hopscotch outside. Whatever you can do to change your frown upside down. That was so cliche. But you know what? Sometimes the cliche works. It works. Someone wasted their resources and now they got a pack, move, and store, guys. We've got a trail of everything that's been done. Maybe this person was trying to get into this person's energy, their sacral chakra. Destiny swap with somebody. I don't even know how somebody does that, and I don't even want to watch the YouTube videos on it. I don't want to know. I really don't. I have no interest because I have always dealt with my life in the way that it was meant to be dealt with, and that's crying it out if you needed to cry, because that's my toolbox. And then you just find some kind of interesting, I guess, way to look at it. Just find some positivity in it. Recording the moments, getting a stamp for everywhere you've been, finding appreciation in those landscapes, being creative. That's where your sacral chakra is about, being creative. Just notice that this energy card is underneath the 5, which is a change. So maybe someone's going to find a change within their creativity, a change within their energy, a change within their drive from what it was before. The Rolling Stone could also be a full moon. We've got the balance card here, and we've got the snow globe. All are big circles, so that could signify full moons, and then we already discussed the new moon up there. Another thing I learned from my neighbor downstairs, who seems super interested in the full moon cycle, a lot of stuff happens on the full moon in order to affect somebody's new moon. The new moon is the new cycle, as I've said previously. I didn't know that either. Anywho, next card after travel is greater than. Being able to travel and having your freedom and be able to move around and be able to have your creativity and your energy is so much greater than any block that anyone could ever put towards your direction. Right? It's a freedom. Freedom is greater than any genie lamp that you could find. Freedom, even from emotional stuff, is so much greater than all this hard work. This is the Beaver Dam block. This next card is Peacock, which would be somebody's arrogance and ego. Freedom is so much greater than your ego. It's always your ego that will cause people to get into trouble. It's their ego and arrogance and thinking, oh, I'm above the rules. I don't have to follow the rules. I could pack, store, and move those rules anytime I want to. And I can even do this. It's child's play. I can do whatever I want, bloom and create and grow any kind of situation I want to. I can do that. I can block anyone I want to. Because of their profession, they think they can do that. Or because the people they know in their profession, because the people that they might work with, meaning the ladder card. Can we see it? Just pencil. So sorry. But there's someone who's up the ladder, a coworker, someone somebody's working with. Maybe it's someone on a bench, a judge, maybe. That's what the judges, they're on the bench, right? Could even be an athlete who has been benched. Who might be a little bit of a rat, rodent, gathering resources, causing destruction and damage, but they're a professional, right? Wasting resources. Sometimes people feel like just because they know people in high places, that's all they need. Not understanding the fact that we've got that spirit of all spirits, the creator of all, who is just right there and oversees everything, regardless of the shade. It's a welcome visitor. We've got the next card out. Welcome visitor. Next card after that is a ghost and ghouls, and then we have lost and found. Maybe someone had lost their connection to this greater than spirit of all, creator of all, the Most High. Maybe they were trying to cover themselves or protect their own eyesight from the creator. Like they thought that they can disguise themselves and not be seen. Maybe they even believed that they had a relationship with, or that the creator was their all-time protector, even though they were doing all of this mayhem and craziness and perhaps working with people who didn't have those same beliefs, or certain beliefs that were exaggerated in being used to benefit them. Maybe now, because they've learned the lesson and they're moving on to a new cycle, they'll have to face their responsibility and the consequences of their choices. Because everything that they've done, all the evidence of everything, even when there's a mouse there, there's an evidence that they were there, right? They destroy things, they chew wires, even with the squirrel. They leave little evidences where they've been too. Evidence. There's nothing in life that can be done, and there's not going to be evidence to be found. Even if you think that the evidence has been lost, destroyed, buried in a graveyard somewhere, the evidence is always there, whether you see it or you don't see it. The ancestors always know. Those who have passed on always know. The people who have witnessed what you have done will always know. Everything has a way of coming to the surface when it's needed to come to the surface. And knowing that could be part of your toolbox. Maybe that's something somebody learned. When everything is rolling out of control, go to your toolbox. We've got the nest card here and the rodent card. I recently learned that squirrels are now becoming carnivorous and they're eating eggs out of nests. I've not done the research on that. It was something that someone told me. So don't quote me on it. But they're changing their ways. I guess that's the point of saying that. They're changing their ways. We have the Red Rover card. Red Rover, send Sally right over. Categorizing our sexual energy, which is our sacral chakra, which is the essence and the vitality that someone was trying to change. They wanted that for themselves. They wanted to be that. But you can't take that from somebody else. You can only earn it. It's earned by working through your toolbox and letting go of the crap that you keep wanting to hang on to in your storage. Let it go. Find the balance. If you want to seek a professional for resources to be able to gain your genie lamp, and you're wondering, why is this person so lucky? Why do they get to be that way? Why do they get those presents and gifts? Why do they get to have that freedom and ability to move or travel or do whatever it is that they want to? Why do they get to have this childlike spirit? I want that. Well, do the work. That's the kind of professional that you need to seek out. Heck, have a taco. I dreamt last night about this person that I once knew, who I thought was a really nice person, maybe just a little unhealed. And in my dream, she was trying to make me something I was not. And I didn't understand why she kept trying to push me into being this person. And it was her birthday. And she's like, can you just do it for me? And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't swing that way. I'm sorry. But I think the message in that is that she just wanted me to love her. And guess what? I do love you. The way that the Most High loves everyone. I cared about you as a friend, as a sister. You know, everyone in the world is our brother and our sister in some regard. Just saying. You had exactly what it was that you wanted. You just didn't know you had it because you were so caught up in refusing to heal what it was you needed to heal. And had you healed, you too could have had those blessings, those wishes, the childlike spirit and the balance. Had you wanted to heal, it's a choice that we all have, depending on where you put your resources. Do you put your energy into negativity, or do you put your negativity into healing so that you can bloom something beautiful and positive? It's a choice. Do you see your world as dark and shady and cloudy? Or do you wait for things to settle and bloom from there? You don't make permanent decisions on temporary feelings and emotions. You just don't. But because people are imperfect, once was lost can now be found. And with that, folks, make it a great day. Again, I send love and positivity and healing in everyone's direction, regardless. Take care.